Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Town of Delafield annual meeting. Notice is hereby given that the annual town meeting of electors for the Town of Delafield will be held on Tuesday, April 15th, 2025 at 6:30 p.m. at the Town Hall, W302 and 254 Maple Avenue, Delafield, Wisconsin. The meeting's been called by the Town Board in accordance with Wisconsin State Statute 60.11. The annual town meeting, which may conduct any business authorized under Wisconsin State Statute 60.10, will be held for the following purpose. I call it to order. If you would please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance, that'd be great. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take the roll, please.
Supervisor Mahoney-Ogden.
Present.
Supervisor Miller.
Here.
Supervisor Wolfley.
Present.
Supervisor Berkowitz.
Present.
Chairman Kranek.
Present.
Thank you.
Next item, citizens' comments. Public comments from citizens regarding items on or not on the agenda. The board may not engage in discussions with the citizens making the comments. Individual presentations are limited to 3 minutes, and citizens shall follow the rules set forth in section 2.04, paren 1, paren D of the town code. Is there anyone who'd like to make a public comment? If they would, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please.
First, before I start, let me say if there's any questions, I have hearing aids. It's hard for me to hear everything. You might be lucky. Chairman Kranek and supervisors, I live in Somerset Moore's East, West 282, North 4255 Somerset Lane, Pewaukee. I was planning to burn my native and wildlife prairie garden as I do every few years. I reached out to Lake Country Fire and Rescue without success. Let me explain. My prairie garden is a diverse mixture of prairie plants: coneflower, monarda, cup plant, Ohio spiderwort, rattlesnake master, boneset, to name a few. And also it includes a plant which was on a threatened species in Wisconsin until 2014, Gentiana alba, also known as cream genentin. Small garden supports bees, butterflies, finches, sandhill cranes, owls, and the town of Delafield bird, the red-tailed hawk. I turned to the town of Delafield rules for burning and contacted the Lake Country Fire and Rescue for permission to do so. I was pretty much denied doing so by rules the Lake Country Fire and Rescue will be changing in the future. My prairie is about 4,000 square feet, about 1/10 of an acre, and is a lot smaller than my 50,000 square foot lot. Not a great amount of prairie. My lot is adjacent to the Pewaukee Sanitary District Conservancy on Oak Savannah. As the town of Delafield burning grasslands rules state in my area, I would need either the chief's, his or her written approval, and this is what I was attempting to do. I was following the rules. In the past 24 years, I have burned my prairie numerous times. 2007, 2010, 2014, 2016, and 2019 with success. I have always asked for permission and received it from the town of Delafield Fire Chief Kinley and town of Delafield Chairman Paul Cantor also signed the petition to burn my prairie. Chief Kinley also complimented me by writing in 2016, and I quote, "I have no concerns with you burning again this year, and as you've been very thoughtful and safe with your burning in the past," end quote. As of now, Lake Country and Fire and Rescue would not inspect my area, and their representative, Mr. Heltemes, I think is that how it's supposed to be pronounced, said I would need a professional to do the burning. They said the rules would be changing in the future, but did not say when. Battalion Chief Nick Heltemes told me that in the future, a professional would be required to burn my prairie garden. Requiring a professional to do the burn of a small area would be costly for the average prairie gardener, and as of right now, no one knows how much it would cost. I inquired with Mr. Hentley's if he knew anyone who burns small areas, and he replied no. He also said he would not recommend it to anyone. I am here to appeal to the town board that if when the town rules change, that the town of Delafield rules be written so that small area burns can be done by the owner without the need for a need to hire a fire prairie burn professional. The rules should include but are not limited to preparation by the owner, inspection by the Lake Country Fire and Rescue, written permission to do the burn, and suggestions on how to do the burn safely. And I would also add that the Lake Country Fire and Rescue could teach a small prairie burn class to those who are doing a prairie burn for the first time. Please consider my suggestions for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Anybody else like to make any citizens' comments? Hearing no other citizens' comments, I'm going to close the citizen comment period. Next item would be approval of the minutes from the April 16th, 2024 meeting.
Motion to approve April 16th, 2024 annual meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion is second to approve those meeting minutes from April 16th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, appointment of officials. The rules state that there needs to be an election of a town supervisor to the Plan Commission to serve a one-year term. I would look to have somebody nominate somebody to serve.
Nominate Supervisor Terry Mahoney Ogden for the Plan Commission.
I'll second it.
Motion is second on the floor to elect and appoint Supervisor Mahoney Ogden to the Town Plan Commission. All in favor say aye.
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 Abstain. No.
Motion passes.
All right.
I didn't realize we were doing it. Okay, we'll talk later, I guess, in terms of scheduling. If we can do Zoom calls, that's great. So we'll, yeah, just as long as I can do it, I'll pay Zoom calls. Be happy to do it. I mean, Zoom meetings or Teams. But otherwise, so happy to do it, just I need to be able to do Zoom and Teams.
Motion passed 3 with 1 abstention and 1 nay vote. Next item was the reappointment of Supervisor Mahoney Ogden to the Pewaukee Advisory Committee for a 1-year term. Appoint Supervisor Mahoney Ogden to the Pewaukee Advisory Committee to continue the work that she's been doing there.
Second?
Motion is second to reappoint Supervisor Mahoney Ogden to the Pewaukee Advisory Committee. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-2. Next item, reappointment of members to the Town Plan Commission. Reappoint Chairperson Janisick and Commissioner Mahalovich to the Plan Commission with terms to expire April 30th, 2028. I'll make a motion to reappoint them. I'd look for a second.
Second?
Motion is second to reappoint Jennifer Janasek and Dave Mahalovich to the Plan Commission. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 5-0. And then the next item is to reappoint all the town board members to the Board of Review to serve a one-year term.
Motion to reappoint town board members to Board of Review for a one-year term.
Second it.
Motion is second to appoint us to the Board of Review. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion passes 5-0. There is no old business, new business. We have a presentation from the Sheriff's Department, and then I believe we have Chief Fenning to give us a status on LCFR. So if the Sheriff's Department would come in.
Good evening. If you don't know me, I'm Lieutenant Stramberg with the Sheriff's Department. I oversee a bunch of the contracts within the county, especially the town of Delafield. You got the annual report, hopefully in your packet. I sent it a couple weeks ago. Just a brief rundown of 2024. We had 928 calls for service for the contract deputy, which is Deputy Kubishek, and her backup deputy, which is Deputy Lauren Stevenson. They did 423 building checks, 222 extra patrols, 224 traffic stops, resulting in 126 citations, 132 verbal warnings, 17 written warnings. Amongst the calls, a bunch of the numbers are in there, 17 alarms, 112 calls regarding well-being checks or medical and fire calls, 23 domestics, 29 suspicious activity calls. They had 8 arrests for OWIs, 154 calls for incidents involving reckless driving. Deputy Kubishek and Deputy Stevenson have done an outstanding job last year with being the contract deputies. Great open line of communication between the board, or Michelle and them, and back to us. So that's really all I got. If you have any questions.
No, I mean, deputies are doing a great job. I mean, the only thing is with, you know, the Fund 83 construction, just if we can make sure that we're watching the weight limits on Maple Avenue that have been imposed, and then all the truck traffic and traffic coming through the school zone and on KE.
Absolutely. Deputy Kubishek already sent that out to me, and it's going to go out to the deputies as well, so they should all be aware of it.
Yeah, it's great. It's just visible. See you guys around all the time, so.
Good.
Keep it
Glad
up.
to hear.
Thank you and good evening. So yeah, in terms of our report, annual report for the town, first want to highlight the investment that the town made, and thank you for your investment last year, or 2024 rather. Your investment was $938,000. Of that, you got service from this fire station, which was open all 365 days of the year. And if you equate that to, if you were to try to do that on your own, it'd be about $2.5 million just to put the 12 people in the building, plus operational expenses and maintenance and so on and so forth. So it really highlights the value of the partnership that everyone's in and the reason for it. In terms of call volume, there were 514 incidents in the town last year. 324 of those were emergency medical calls. There were 4 building fires, 3 vehicle fires, and the balance of it is really illustrated on page 3 of our report, where you can see the breakdown of calls and what was going on with them. And then above that, you have calls by month, so on and so forth. So this highlights the last 3 pages of it, kind of give you a showcase of the new reporting software that we enacted early in 2024, and we're kind of starting to see the fruits of those labors. So this was something we weren't able to provide, this level of transparency to our residents prior to switching, and now we're able to do this not only department-wide, but by community and so on and so forth. So I will pause and ask if anyone has any questions about the 2024 performance.
Just keep up the good work, and just want to say I send my condolences. I know that there is a member of LCFR that passed away yesterday, K9 Tesla, and my condolences to the LCFR family and to Deputy Chief Harder.
Thank you. I'll be sure to pass that along. Tess was an amazing animal that, you know, our job doesn't stop just when the response ends, and there's a traumatic component to some of the things that people see and do. And her ability to unpack those situations just by being in the room was something that we will dearly miss for a very long time. So thank you for that, Ed.
All right. I mean, I read the post. What's that?
He was 9. Yeah.
9?
Yeah.
She wasn't that old.
Ed. Did you want to address the burning question for the gentleman in the room, or should we do that at a later time?
If you're able to respond to it or address it, I mean, you can address it, and, you know, if we got to take it offline, we can take it offline.
Okay,
But if you
yeah,
can-
I'm just happy to do so. Just figured it was an
Yeah,
opportunity.
thank you.
It's
Thank
just-
you, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Can you hear me okay? Okay. Yeah, if you want to, yeah. Sorry. Let me just first start by saying that I fully support prairie burns. I understand how doing so is incredibly healthy for that prairie and that piece of agriculture and so on and so forth. I can say over the past 3 years, we field dozens and dozens and dozens of phone calls to do these prairie burns. And it's become a part, and it's something that we have to address as a 7-partner community, because every community has different types of ordinances and so on and so forth. But recent history is a couple of these prairie burns have gotten away from these individuals that have been doing them, which has resulted in a fire response, which has resulted in one almost house catching fire because of one of these prairie burns. Which is why myself and our command staff, we have taken a stance that we're going to allow the private contractors to do them. They follow a very specific set of guidelines that we have published. It's been on our website for a number of years. That guideline hasn't changed. And the biggest thing is that they have to present us with the plans. They have to have site plans of what they're doing. And they have to carry $1 million in liability insurance. Joe, I'm sure you can respect that. If one of these things goes awry and something happens, somebody needs to be liable for it, because we are intentionally setting a fire. And when we intentionally set a fire, there's a liability with intentionally setting that fire. So that is why, for a safety standpoint, we have chosen to take a step back from allowing the private prairie burns this year. Myself personally, our command staff, we personally do not want the liability on the organization, because now, as the fire chief or as the battalion chief, if we approve one of these prairie burns, we are now on the liability hook for approving this. And if it gets away and something happens where, I mean, be frank, $1 million in coverage in the Lake Country area may not cover a house that catches fire and burns. So it's just something from the holistic look at it from 10,000 feet. While they are important to the agriculture, while they are important to these individual sites, it's just something that we have to get a better control over, which is why we've taken a pause on it this year. It's unfortunate. We like them. We know how healthy they are for that, but we have to have a mechanism in place where, when these are approved, that the homeowner has to provide us with that insurance, and they have to provide us that they have these site plans, and that they're taking on the liability for when one of these goes bad. And that's what it comes down to. It's not about trying to be, obstructive or anything like that. It's about who's going to take on the liability when a house catches on fire because one of these has gone bad. Or, you get something, we all know how bad Brookfield was earlier this year, and how quick the winds can change and so on and so forth. These private contractors that do them, while they do charge, they bring hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment with them. Some of them have old retired brush trucks that they have, 200 gallons of water on them. They have Indian packs. They have everything that they need to tend to this in the event that the wind abruptly changes or it gets away from them. And that's what we have to make sure that we protect, is not only the prairies, but also the residents and the houses alongside of it. I will also say that generally, every time somebody does one of these privately, we get 3 or 4 burning complaints because of smoke in the area and different things like that. So we're trying to have that happy balance and make sure that these are done. If you look at Lapham Peak, they burn it. 3 weeks later, it is green and beautiful and lush. And that's what we want as well. But we have to make sure that we're protecting not only the people, not only the prairies, if you will, but the houses and everyone else around them. So that's been our stance on it this year, and it's something that we're going to work for in the future to hone in, but we have to have a mechanism on who's going to take on that liability. So that's been our deal this year.
So you're open, so you're not saying no, it sounds, pause was the word. So it's not, you're not totally opposed, you're just gonna take steps to,
Correct, and if you look at the conditions we've had this year, this is a bad year.
Yeah.
Bad year for burning. We had an incredibly dry winter with not a lot of snow, so there wasn't a lot of snowpack on there. That melted off. Thankfully, we've had some rain in the last couple of weeks and things have greened up, but the DNR still has us in a drought condition. And some of these areas are like kindling wood, and if they were to light off and get away from people unintentionally, we would have big problems on our hands. We've ran more grass fires this spring than we run traditionally. So I don't have a stat on, the ratio on it, but we've definitely been on more grass fires, and we have been on more major grass fires, getting called out to Palmyra, getting called to the city of Brookfield, getting called to areas like that. I mean, who would have thought a grass fire in the city of Brookfield, right? It's a urban developed area, but that's been our stance on it, and it's really to protect the area around it. Any questions?
Yes. Liability, which I have, and it was new to me. Last year, and I don't remember his name, volunteered to burn it for me. Said, oh, the reason, a mile and a half away from me, some years ago, prairie garden. Down in Merton, he came and burned and almost burned his pine trees down. Exactly what you say, you gotta know what you're doing. I was affected by the fire department like Chief Kinley did to me years ago. Hoses long enough to reach all the way around. I have, fire breaks all 4 corners, all 4 sides, and I don't understand why no one came out. He just wanted to talk on the phone and tell me no.
That is because as an organization and at my directive, we have taken a pause on allowing for the private ones to be done this year because of the reasons that we mentioned with the drought conditions and extremely dry
Well,
conditions.
I understand this year, but I understand that every year, that it's why I burn that fully. Bad, it doesn't happen. It happens every year. Another thing, he talked about having a professional do it. Now, what is that gonna cost? Asked him, and he said he didn't know. Anybody? He said no. Burn permits, what is that?
I'm not aware of any, we don't issue burn permits.
Okay.
So there are,
That may be just.
Maybe a different municipality, but I mean, definitely, we've heard your concern. We've heard the chief's explanation. Hopefully we can maybe meet offline and try to figure out, how to help you out, so.
that's right. Mr. Chairman Kranek is just saying that he's heard the concerns, and if the 3 of us want to meet offline and we come to a resolution on this. We're here to support you. But we gotta, come to some sort of conclusion on this, and I'm happy to do that.
That's why I brought it up, because Town of Delafield rules are a little lot different. Form in there, I could have filled out that's liability and all that other stuff. And it was made for a businessman. There was nothing on there that related to a homeowner or the small. That's why I tried to address everybody tonight.
Yeah, that's okay. Happy to meet with you afterwards, or not afterward tonight, but at some point.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, we've got department reports are in the packet. Assessor reports, the auditor was here at our last meeting to give us the audit report. Judge Kay was here to give the municipal court report. Next item would be to set the annual meeting date for the future. And towns are required to hold the annual meeting on the third Tuesday of April each year, which is April 15th, 2025. The annual meeting can never be held before the third Tuesday. So I'd ask for a motion to hold the next annual meeting for 2026 as April 21st, 2026, prior to the regularly scheduled town board meeting that evening.
Okay, I motion to hold our annual town meeting, April 21, 2026, prior to our regularly scheduled town meeting.
A second.
Motion and a second to set the annual meeting date as April 21st, 2026. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion passes. Next item would be a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
A second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll start the regularly town board supervisor meeting. Like to call to order the Town of Delafield Board of Supervisor meeting for Tuesday, April 15th. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Mahoney Ogden.
Present?
Supervisor Miller.
Here.
Supervisor Wolfley.
Present.
Supervisor Berkowitz.
Present.
Chairman Kranek.
Present.
Thank you.
Next item is citizens' comments, public comments from citizens regarding items on or not on the agenda. The board may not engage in discussions with the citizens making the comments. Individual presentations are limited to 3 minutes, and citizens shall follow the rules set forth in section 2.04, paren 1, paren D of the town code. If you can come and
My name is James McGregor, a citizen of Town of Delafield and Twin Oaks Drive residents. And it's a question on page 64 in your giant packet. So under the Lake Patrol roster, so Lake Patrol. This is under your,
yeah, it was in the annual meeting packet.
for the annual meeting packet, so I don't know if it's appropriate, this is the right time to bring it up, or wait till you get to that report.
Citizen comments, or you can talk on anything you'd like.
Ask whatever question you got.
Which page is here? What page?
They're not enumerated, but it's 64 in your pack. It's under the section of Lake Patrol.
Maybe
So-
2/3 of the way.
There's gonna be, yeah.
Okay.
So the question I have, because it got me thinking about the levy rate and things of that nature from the town of Delafield. Do citizens who are non-lake residents, are they required to help with that 250,000 approximate number with the weed removal?
That is for folks who are part of the Lake Pewaukee Sanitary District,
Correct.
so
Only?
only.
Okay. 'Cause that was unclear to me in the language of
yeah.
the.
Yeah, that's just the sanitary district folks, so.
Okay, and so then they get that additional increase.
They get an additional levy on their tax bill for that taxing district.
Okay, good, thank you. May I ask an additional question then? What is our levy rate then for town of Delafield for this year?
$1.74, $1.70. Yeah, the town is $1.74.
And what's the total limit then for, do we happen to know? Yeah,
We don't know that till after.
okay, good, thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
If you, did we get a sheet of paper?
Oh,
A little piece?
Yeah.
I got it all written down.
You do, okay, I just didn't say it.
I'm going to close the citizen comment period. Look for approval of the April 8th, 2025 town board minutes.
Motion to approve the April 8th, 2024 town board minutes.
second.
Motion is second to approve the minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion passes 5-0. Next item is consideration of the contract with Revise for the website services as discussed at our April 8th meeting.
So in your packet, Revise has it's towards the, sort of the end of the first section that gives the price breakdown, which is exactly what was budgeted for. So it's on page 26 of 32. And the total is $10,245. It's actually $5 increased from last year. I'll ask them about that. But then there's a bunch of optional items on page 29 of 32 that we can revisit when we go through the budget for this next time.
I mean, is there, of these optional items, is there anything that stands out that would assist in the town duties or make sense?
It's really personal preference. My suggestion would be to go with the basic right now, and then we can always add these on later if we feel like there's a significant need, or I can try to use the existing platform and see what I can get out of it without doing this extra piece. I'd like to try that
Right.
if
Yeah.
need be.
That's good.
Great. Just looking for a motion to approve as
Yes, correct.
presented. Motion to approve as presented the contract for revised website services as discussed April 8th, 2025.
Second.
Motion is second to approve the contract with revise. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion passes 5-0. Announcements of planning items. There is no town board meeting next Tuesday, but we are hosting the Towns Association WTA meeting here on Wednesday, the 23rd at 6:30. It's going to be Sharon Lear's last meeting, and we have John Koskinen from Department of Revenue, the chief economist from the state of Wisconsin, coming here to give us a talk about what's happening in the state of Wisconsin. Capital Day for the Town Advocacy Council is going to be on Wednesday, April 30th. More information is on the WTA website and in the WTA magazine. And then there will be a Town Plan Commission on Tuesday, May 6th, 2025 at 6:30.
I'm out of town.
And just want to thank Administrator Clerk Lutke for her help in the Heartland Lakeside recount.
Thank you.
Good job.
I did leave a recount kind of
Thank you.
recap on there. If you guys have any questions, let me know.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion is second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, whoever you would
That was,
like. That's what-
yeah, that was Terry's.
Okay, so Scott, Scott, you don't want me on Lake, like, I know Joe doesn't want me